I thought my parents would be furious when I told them I was pregnant. I was 22 when I found out I was pregnant. It was one of those moments where your whole world feels like it stops for a second. I remember staring at the test in my bathroom thinking there was no way this could be real. My boyfriend Matt and I had only been dating for about a year, and while things between us were good, we definitely had not planned something like this. The first person I told was Matt. When I showed him the test, he just sat there quietly for a minute trying to process everything. Finally, he looked at me and said, "Okay, we'll figure this out." That sentence helped more than he probably realized, but the part that terrified me the most was telling my parents. My parents had always been strict about certain things. They believed in finishing school first, building a stable life, and then starting a family. Getting pregnant before any of that happened felt like the exact opposite of what they expected from me. For 2 weeks, I kept putting off the conversation. Every time I visited them, I almost said something, but the words just would not come out. I imagined my dad getting angry or my mom looking disappointed. Eventually, I realized I could not hide it forever. One Sunday afternoon, I drove over to their house for dinner. My mom was cooking in the kitchen and my dad was watching a football game in the living room. Everything felt completely normal, which somehow made the moment even harder. After dinner, I asked if we could talk for a minute. They both looked at me like something serious was coming. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely get the words out. Finally, I just said it. "I'm pregnant." The room went completely silent. My dad leaned back in his chair and just stared at the floor for a second. My mom blinked a few times, like she was making sure she heard me correctly. For about 5 seconds, nobody said anything. Then my dad let out a slow breath and asked, "Are you okay?" That was not the reaction I expected at all. I nodded and said yes. My mom walked over and hugged me. She did not look angry or disappointed. She just looked concerned. They started asking normal questions. "How far along are you? How are you feeling? Is Matt supportive?" The conversation felt calm, almost surprisingly calm. My dad finally said something that stuck with me. He said, "This might not have been your plan, but it does not mean your life is over." Hearing that lifted a huge weight off my shoulders. Over the next few weeks, they helped me figure out everything from doctor appointments to budgeting for baby expenses. My mom even started sending me baby name ideas almost immediately. One evening while we were talking, I admitted something to them. I told them I had been terrified to tell them because I thought they would be angry. My dad laughed softly and said something I will probably never forget. "You're still our daughter. That part doesn't change just because life surprised you." In that moment, I realized something important. The fear I had been carrying around for weeks was mostly in my own head. My parents were not focused on judging me for what happened. They were focused on making sure I was okay and helping me move forward. And honestly, that support meant more than anything else in the world at that moment.